When and where were you born?
I was born in Greece in 1955. The village that I was born in didn't have electricity, and we're heating the house with wood burning stove, and kerosene lamps. But it was fun, no worries, no enemies, a small village. Life was easy. I came here in 1974. I was 18 years old when I came.
Was it your choice to come to America?
Yes, my grandparents were here since 1953, I believe. They left Greece right after the war. My mother was the oldest child, and she was already married, so she didn't move, but my grandparents moved with the rest of the children. And the land of opportunity, I wanted to come here since I was a little kid, so I did. Stereotypes? I did not. Actually, when I was growing up, America was the paradise. It was a place to go. Everybody wanted to come here. Americans were welcomed throughout the world. The red carpets were rolling when Americans came. Things have changed, I know, the last few years, but at that time, Americans were very popular everywhere. First job, I went to school here. I went to school at Briar Cliff, but I did have a job, a part-time job, or a summer job with Container Corporation.
What was your degree at Briar Cliff?
Actually, general studies. I was there for 2 years, and then I was working at IBP as well. IBP went out on strike, so I could not continue. I was paying my way through school and supporting myself, so I could not continue the school because IBP was out on strike and couldn't get a job anywhere. So I decided to go to Western Iowa Tech, which was a cheaper choice. And I took auto body, and then I decided this is what I want to do.
How long have you been doing auto body?
Since 1979.
While you were still in Greece, did you have any jobs while you were there?
No, I was just a student. I worked part-time in the farm with my mom and dad. My grandparents were here, actually. Why did they choose to come here? I think that a lot of the immigrants came here in this area because of the packing houses, and also the railroad had a station in Sioux City. So a lot of the immigrants, they had no skills, no education, no language skills. So an easy job was to be found at that packing house.
Do you really have any troubles moving to America? Like coming to America in general, did you have any problems?
No. Yes, we do actually. Greece is a Christian country, and during Christmas we usually butcher a pig before Christmas, and we have a big feast a few days before, so we have fresh meat for Christmas. Easter, there's fasting for 40 days, no meat, 40 days prior to Easter. And at Easter time, we usually butcher a lamb. So those are some of the traditions. And of course, we have certain dances and certain foods that we eat. And we try to stay with that as much as possible. It was hard in the beginning just to adjust, but it wasn't anything that I would expect to be different. Language mostly. Culture is a little different, but it wasn't shocking, it wasn't a negative.
You made fun of it all when you first moved here?
No, actually, back in the 70s, there were very few immigrants. The immigrants came here in the early 1900s, and I'm sure life was hard for them. And then again after the war in the 50s. But then all these people were eventually blended into the community. But when I came in 1974, we didn't have many immigrants here. As a matter of fact, I remember since then, you don't have many Europeans coming in this way at all. You have South Americans, but Europeans don't even come this way. I'm married and I have 2 children and 4 grandchildren.
When did you marry?
Pardon?
When did you marry?
In 77.
How is the world different now from when you were a child?
Well, it's more complicated today than it was when I was born. of course, with internet, computers, everything is much faster. News get from here to China in seconds, where back then it was really maybe a telephone, and they couldn't connect most of the time, or through mail.
Do you prefer the way things were back when you were a kid or now?
No, I not that I prefer. I reminisce sometimes, but progress, maybe it's a little too fast, but progress has to happen.
What are 3 major adjustments you had to make when moving to America?
The language was one. The culture was the other one. And I don't know that there's a third that comes to mind.
Which one was more difficult?
The language, I think.
How long did it take you to understand and speak it?
Well, I'm sure that it took me at least 6 months to a year. And I still speak with an accent, obviously. But you never get rid of that.